Yo, 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 peoples. Going live again. We live, baby. This morning I did a stream. I wasn't going to, because I had one planned, but like I said, I was going through some things. So I didn't do what I'm about to do now, the tattoo history, continuing that. I did a more motivational talk, more to push people's days, push my own day, because it worked. It worked, but if you were watching earlier, I had so much motivation to go into work, and what I thought to be doing my best at a freaking pizza job at Pizza Hut, bro. Like, I thought I was doing good, but what had ended up happening on my second day of working there, he tried to tell me to go on and just do all the motions that we went through when I was training, and so I was right, and then an order came up and I was supposed to make a pizza, man. A pizza, big ass pizza with hella toppings and shit. So I make the pizza, right? And then there's another order and I go look for the other selections of dough that we prepped. And there's so much that we prepped this morning. Like, we was in there stretching dough, saucing up stuff, cheesing up stuff to put in the freezer. And so I got confused on where to go, right? So I asked dude, I said, where's it at? Like, I always told him that if I had a question, I was gonna ask rather than sit there with my thumb up my bummy. Ask questions. So I asked him, and he's like staring at me, and I'm like, what is dude staring at? Like, I asked him a question, so I asked him again, and then he just was getting real attitudey, dude. So like, I ended up getting the right one with the help of another manager, and we finished that pizza, right? So then I go wash my hands, right? And then I take off the gloves I was using, go wash my hands, and put on another pair of gloves. And he's like, "Why are you using so many gloves?" I said, "Because I'm touching pizza, and I don't want to be dirty. I don't want to touch the counters and under the counter and stuff, and then touch a pizza. Like, that's food safety, food whatever. Like, I sat there and did training for it, so that's something I'm not supposed to do." So he was copping attitudes, man, and I kept so calm in my head, man. I fought that anger that I just wanted to put on him, put it to him, and say how I felt. But like I said earlier, I'm working on my reactions to things and people and how they treat me. And he did the devil's duty today. He tried to get me, man. He tried to get me. He didn't catch me though, because I got too much control. And like I said, I'm not gonna waste my time at somewhere that I'm not happy. I did this because I need to do it, and like, I still need the job. Like, I should maybe talk to him, call him, like my buddy told me. It's like, go call him, see how. But how dude's lip quivered like Ice Cube, bro. I was not getting that job back, and I'm not gonna go back there in a few days and act like nothing happened. Act like he wasn't being some type of way to me, because next time, if he's some type of way, I might react in the way that I wanted to. I'm gonna put the pause to him, bro. Rough. I'm a dog. I'm a doggy, dude. Some old dude, and I would feel bad. That's not the person that I am. That's not the person I'm trying to be. That's not the change of heart that I'm doing. I don't want to treat, like I said earlier, I'm not trying to treat people how they're gonna treat me. If they hate me, whatever, like, they can be that person. I'll pray for you, whatever, man. I hope that hate comes out your heart. But it gave me so much anxiety to come back here and like tell my family like what just happened, because that's that oh, Sean gave up again, Sean let a manager get to him. Nah, that's not what happened, bro. But like, it is what it is. I'm gonna still strive. I went down as soon as I got here, man. I went down and got an application at La Gondola, bro. I walked in like I own the place, and there's these girls. It's full of girls in the kitchen, man. So I walk in there like I own the joint, and they're all staring at me, and I'm like, am I being judged because I walked in there with sleeve, like, tied it up, necklace, like, it looked like I ain't there for a job, like. But it seemed like it went good. I was super nice to him, super respectful. It's a place full of girls, so obviously I would have to like something like guy talk. I can't do that with the girls. Who knows, I could with some of them. Some girls are like that, but that's what I did, bro. I got fired from one job, went to go get another. Like, I'm out here grinding, bro. 2025 is gonna be my year, and I'm not gonna let anybody put me down, especially somebody fucking flipping dough. Pardon my language, but I'm kind of upset right now. But I'll get over it. I came back here so happy that I could jump on live and I could see my friends pop up, bro. But Cameron again. I don't know if he's still on here. Trevor DeWeese, bro. You know what it is, bro. We got some pain in common with a friend that passed a few years ago, and I don't see those people no more because they're not in the right mind. They're not the situations I need to be around. There's a few of them that have their things together, but they're still not doing the right things. Something's going to put them down, bro, and I don't want to be a part of that. So I'm gonna distance myself. But right now, this stream, I'm gonna be on here for as long as I can until this thing dies. I might hop on my phone after. Tattoo history, I talked about the ancient times, the Polynesian, the Egyptian. Man, there was a lot. Sailors, people that were in wars and stuff, and what it led to. Ancient times led to modern times, which was sailors and stuff. That's like the more modern times when it first started. But one person that really interests me in the modern time, and I'm sure a lot of people are gonna know, is Ed Hardy. You know, he has a clothing brand. He has a lot of different things that come with that brand. Like, he started off selling t-shirts and stuff. And a lot of that stuff, like the sailors and the bikers and stuff, that is what influenced Hardy as a kid. And he was in that era of where it started to become well known, like part of the culture. Like, he really focused on the art process. Like, just, it's crazy how many things that Hardy did and how many people that he influenced to become to what it is now, especially his clothing stuff. Like, I have a pair of shoes that's his. I used to have a pair of pants. But instead of being confused, I think I'm just gonna jump into how I typed it, dude, because, you know, typed it like a script. So here we go. Ed Hardy, you know, he was known as the godfather of tattooing. Like, he was Billy Badass. He's the one that, like, sling ink, man. He sling ink. He did artwork. He was a very good artist in all aspects. Like, art was just his love, his passion. He went to Japan to apprentice. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. He went to Japan to apprentice this guy named Hiroshi, which I didn't get too much into Hiroshi, but I did do some facts of Hiroshi. But something funny about his art stuff, dude, when he started that as a kid, he sold art stuff, like little cards, like whatever he could draw on, even cardboard. He would draw some sick stuff and he would sell them to kids on the block for 60 cents. Like, back then that might have been a lot. Like, right now, 60 cents for a drawing, I don't know if he's gonna want to do that, but like, if you love art, you're gonna do whatever you can. You're gonna do it for free, need be. Like, you love it, you have fun doing it. So yeah, he would sell 60-cent portraits to people. And as a teen, he grew up in the 60s and 70s, so I'm sure you can already assume where that's heading. He was in the tattoo world, man, and tattoo world, man, people drink, people have fun, people do they have their other fixes, and, you know. And one of his things is that he was an alcoholic, and what I really liked about when I came across that, I seen that out of his alcoholism, his wife really pushed him, like, because all his tattoo stuff was going, so his wife pushed him to get sober, and that's what he did. Like, I kind of did the same thing, go to AA meetings, go to rehabs and stuff. Like, he didn't go to a rehab, he did AA because he had a lot of supporters, he had a business to run, like, he had a lot of things that could keep him from going back to it. So he just joined a little AA meeting, man, and just talked about things, and he learned from people that have been through experiences just like him. And depression's not a joke, man. You gotta really talk about it. And like me, I've noticed I talk about it too much. Like I'm too truthful with it. And like I want to get past it. I want to learn. I want to have somebody there by my side and know everything. I just want to fluently speak about what goes on here, what went on in here that I never got to talk about, that I never got to express myself and say that I want better. And it's always, I just went to worse because I couldn't express it. I had to silence myself because other people have problems going on, which is understandable because everybody goes through their own things in life. But like having somebody to talk to, man, like once again, I'll mention my buddy Jake, man. That's one person I can always talk to, say anything. I will not get judged. He'll come pick me up on a blink of an eye, drop of a dime. Jake would be here right now, which haven't been here because I went to Lagondola to get another job application to hopefully get into something, man. So if you know any jobs hiring somebody like me, you know, I've done landscaping, stuff like that too. I just went and did pizza. Like I range in all sorts of type of things, man. And I have no problem learning something different and just trying my best. And obviously for Pizza Hut, it didn't work. But, you know, I'm not going to let that put me down. But yeah, Ed Hardy went to AA. You know, he got back into his passion. He got back into what he loved. And so in those times that he was tattooing and doing all his apprenticeships and traveling to Japan to see Hiroshi, and there's another guy, Taki, that he was influenced by. Taki and Hiroshi were like a double duo. Like they were dynamic duo that did everything, and they loved tattooing big tattoos, traditional Japanese tattoos. Went crazy with color, bold lines that are really big, lines with needles that I haven't even used yet, that I haven't got to experience. I've just done like thin lines. So he started 1968. He settled in Vancouver, convincing his family, and this is quoted, he convinced his family that it was simply a good idea. So with the help of his family, they invested in him. They gave him $3,000, and that was it. That's your drop. That's your bottom dollar, bro. Like that's all you got to do what you want to do. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But you know, Ed Hardy did it, his Thug Dizzle, and it worked. And in that tattoo shop, you're gonna hear the guy that I talked about in my first stream, which is Jerry the Sailor. He's now passed. He actually died on Ed Hardy's trip to Japan, like one of his trips. He died, and that really hurt Ed Hardy because that was his influence. He was like I said in the last stream, Jerry the Sailor was his influence, and Ed Hardy was his biggest fan. That's how Ed Hardy learned a lot of his stuff, a lot of his traditional tattoos. And Hardy's connections, he was always known for loving to have friends challenge him and clients challenge him to maybe say he can't do something, and you know, anything you can do, he can do better. Like Ed Hardy, he loved the challenge, and he ended up facing a sketch artist. I feel stupid smoking on this, but it's alright. It's one of my fixes, you know, keeps my stress down, stress reliever. I should be smoking this, and I should not be smoking that, or not smoking at all, but it is what it is. But yeah, here I'm lost again. His connections, yeah, he had people who challenge him. So he ended up facing a sketch artist in like a draw-off challenge, which would mean that Hardy would have to draw a portrait, because that's what sketch artists do. They draw portraits. And of course, Hardy won, you know, got that win, gang, you know, he winning. And he's also the first artist to publish a book about tattooing and about what he learned in the traditions and the cultures that he went to go experience, and the different shops that he experienced. In Japan, Hiroshi, where he started his roots of tattooing, Hiroshi the Third, shall I say, Ed copied his style of Japanese tattoos. Hardy had an epiphany that he described as being struck by lightning. Something that I had was an epiphany to start this streaming, and ever since I had that, I woke up early in the morning, 3 o'clock, and I stayed up till 6 o'clock, signing into all these stream apps and trying to figure out how I do lives, like, because I think I might have messed up on the first one, but like I tried to figure it out by myself, and you know, I'm doing it. I'm trying to do it. He apprenticed Hiroshi, which integrated Hardy's historical styles of tattooing all over the world. I was going to show a picture, but I didn't get to that because of how my morning started. And yeah, like I said, I mentioned the ancient times of tattooing being known for only a high society class group of people. Like the people who had money were the ones that mostly had tattoos when they were back in those days, like the rich people, the emperors, and the emperor's sons, and just people that probably were like in the palace, that had money, were wearing gold or whatever. Like that is very interesting to see that all the ancient tattooing has led to this modern stage and everything that I'm talking about, and influencing some of the best people that are in the tattoo world. And learning the history on that is crazy. And to know that even Ed Hardy, he did his history. He wanted to learn before he was doing tattoos. Like that's why his background mostly comes from artistic stuff, like doing paintings. And I watched a video, and Ed Hardy really didn't like sculptors because he said that they were always dirty and they were kind of cocky and assholes to tattooers because they said they weren't doing art, they're just doodling or whatever. But that's not the case, man, because look where art has put any type of art. The art of drawing, doing paintings has influenced those. It really has. Like there's this guy, I'll have to Percy Waters. He did blueprints of tattoos. So like, how they do blueprints of buildings and stuff, and like there's like the line paper, the blue line paper, and there's blueprints, there's piece by piece by piece. He would do that. He would separate, and he would do this freestyle. He would draw this piece, he would draw this arm, this leg over here, way out to where it wasn't gonna match up if you put it together. Like he did this over here, like a blueprint. And when he was done with that blueprint, he would study that blueprint and he would make something of it. Even though what he drew was right there, he used that as a reference. He didn't draw exactly those things. He mixed it up. He put his own little twang into it. He did his thing. Like that's so interesting to me. And the world really respectfully recognizes Hardy. He's the most common mentioned person throughout anybody's knowledge of modern history. That Hardy even comes up. He's the first artist to publish a book. He's a legend. He's retired from tattooing, but he was tattooing for 40 plus years. From my research, I found 40 years, but I know it's been probably many years than that, and I guarantee that Ed Hardy's still going, doing his thing. So there's the other person, Percy Waters. He's from Detroit. He was the start of modern day tattooing too, like with the care of precision placement and just the love for the art. He really took his time on doing pieces. He didn't just put a stencil on you and just stencil it and just say, here you go, I hope you like it. Like if he didn't like it, he wasn't gonna let you walk out that door. And that's how it should be. Like the client should like what you put on them. They should know that they put their trust in you and you really killed the tattoo. Like you could put on the stencil and they think that that's what they're gonna get. You could be doing the tattoo, they think that's how it's gonna turn out. No, like when the end product is done, you can literally blow their mind and they will love that tattoo. I've seen, in my experience, dude, I've seen people cry because my dad did a tattoo on them, killer tattoos, and like they would cry. They would get up and hug him for minutes, dude. And as soon as it went to pay time, they were just like, here, man. Like it wasn't about the money to him. It was about the fact that they looked at him with literally shell shocks and goosebumps that this person just tattooed this and it's going to be on them for the rest of their life. And they love it. They don't have to go and say, hey man, I got this tattoo from him and I didn't like it, can you fix it, to someone else. Like, because a lot of artists don't like going over other people's tattoos because they want that person to do that tattoo. If they get better, then they can go back and redo their own tattoo. But some people don't take the time to learning, and that possibility for the client isn't there. So they have to go to somebody. They have to spend a couple racks. They have to spend what Ed Hardy did to open a shop, $3,000 for somebody to do a tattoo that they paid $2,000 for, and now they gotta pay another $1,000 to equal up to the same price of what they first originally paid for it. Like, that's not fair. So like, that's where my coming into this streaming, living and stuff, like, I want to learn, I want to become the best artist at first, not with tattooing. Like, I want to probably end up doing painting and stuff with all that too. Like, I want to go through the stages of what other people have because that's what works for them. But I'll know not always that that's not going to work for me because everything works different for others. You have your own ways of doing things. There's another person that I'm struggling to find on here. An American traditional tattoos is Burt Grimm. Burt Grimm. He actually has. There's somebody in their family, you know, that runs a museum now that they do tattoos out of in Kansas, and it's a historical tattoo museum. But he also does tattoos to keep it going, to keep thriving, and to have visitors and have people come in to see just the museum, or there's people to come in and get tattoos and do both and learn about the culture, learn about his family culture and the decades and generations that Burt Grimm influenced. Like, Burt Grimm was also an influence of Hardy's, and if I'm mistaken, they actually all three worked together. Burt Grimm's Hardy was younger, obviously, than Sailor the Jailer, and Burt Grimm's, and Sailor the Jailer ended up dying. So the three duos wasn't really there for the whole time. But Burt Grimm, he was mostly a supplier of tattoo stuff. Like, he would do the blueprint thing too, and just kill it and just supply the blueprints to people so that they could use that as a reference to tattooing. The unique style of bold lines, vibrant colors is the legacy. That's the tradition of modern age tattooing. Like, when it first started, it was flash art. It was eagles with hearts and daggers and like stuff like that, and sailors getting all sorts of type of tattoos. And you want to know something crazy that like shocked me is that Burt Grimm, when he opened his tattoo, like what started all his stuff, is that he straight up just opened a tattoo shop at 16 years old. At 16 years old, this man had it together to start a tattoo shop. He had the love for it enough to just throw everything that he had into it. And it's crazy what can come into tattooing if you really take your time, if you really learn. You could become the best. You could become better than what you knew you could do. Like, and that's what my main end goal for this is. And at that museum, the Burt Grimm Museum in Kansas, that's like the direct connect to the lineage of tattooing. Like, modern day tattooing came from people like that, Ed Hardy, Burt Grimm. There's also a guy named Tom DeVita. He's another person that I would like to talk about, Tom DeVita. And another thing that was mentioned when I did the Burt Grimm, in his museum, if you guys watched Ink Master, Oliver Peck, the guy with long hair, the guy that probably looks like me a little bit, he has some art stuff, artifacts that are lined up in that museum. And that was pretty interesting to find out because, like, I've watched Ink Master for many seasons, up to the New Age season, which it was the last one. It might have been called Legacy or Legends or something like that. And they really turned up Ink Master, and they put it on a main stage platform and had it on like TV like nonstop. Like Ink Master, yeah, it was on TV, but most people didn't really watch it until it hit Netflix and other streaming services. So this is my intake on the modern age tattooing, and I don't know how many people are on right now watching. I know this time I didn't do too good on the stream, probably because I got a lot of jitters of what just happened today, and I'm still working on it in my head, but I'm gonna keep thriving to do this. I'm gonna keep pushing myself to keep on going, man. So I appreciate anybody that came on here, hopped on here, like it, love it, heart it, share it, do what you can, put me out there, and support it. Just give me your true advice, like your ideas on anything that I'm doing and anything that I could correct. I know I shouldn't be smoking on here. That was one thing I probably should do, but you know, heart's pumping, got the blood flowing, so calm myself down. But I'm gonna end up doing another stream, and I'm gonna take my time on it, and I'm gonna hopefully be in the right mindset to do so. Probably do something tomorrow with the biking that I'll be doing with the homies. So if you want to check that out tomorrow, Sunday, we're doing a bike ride session, actually at Pekin Park. If anybody would love to come stop with us, skateboard, rollerblade, scooter, BMX, man, we're gonna be out there. And salute to anybody on here, man. I appreciate you. Like I said, like, share, do what you do.